Okay, so I don't know why I'm excited about this, but I am, and I'm more excited about this than I am about the buds. Um, it's the Galaxy Watch 4. Wait, that's 3. 4. There we go. Can't count, okay?
Also, your fingers are so small. If you do this, it's only two.
Sleeve. Get the get the flip out.
That's why you must do it with two hands, just to like equal them out.
Wow. Wow. Okay,
It be
so I
your
get that.
own.
Wow. Um, yeah, well, you see, this is also why I'm gonna have to get the smaller Galaxy Watch to fit on my wrist because that 44 mil or 46 mil is not gonna work for me. Um,
You can wear a foot.
will the fit? That's the problem. But okay, there's a reason why I said 44, 46 mil because actually there's two different watches in the Galaxy 4 line. The Galaxy Watch 4. So it's the Galaxy Watch 4 and the Galaxy Watch 4 Classic. So last year, was it with the Note 20 series when they dropped the Galaxy Watch 3? So it was just the Galaxy Watch 3 Classic, I think they call it. I can't remember. And it came in two different sizes. And the nice thing about it is it's got that rotating bezel, which is like why has no one else done that? I think it's the best thing Samsung's ever done with a watch. Um, but now what they've done is they're like, hey, some people want the bezel, some people don't necessarily want that sort of. I call it almost like an office boardroom kind of watch. Like it's
Yeah.
very fancy, and I'm like, it's nice. I like the rotating bezel. I don't need all of that, and I think more people have said that. So now they've split the line. So you've got the normal watch, and you've got the watch classic, and you'll be able to see. We've got pictures and sort of stuff of it. You'll be able to see now. Um, but the normal watch for I kind of like. It doesn't have the rotating bezel. It's a very clean design. It's a very simple design. It comes in two different sizes. What are you gonna say now?
No, I
You
just want to
scared?
say no, no, no. So regarding both the classic and the I'll say is it the standard? What do they say? The normal one?
They just call it Galaxy Watch 4 and Galaxy Watch 4 Classics. I'm calling
Okay,
it standard
so
and classic.
standard and let's go standard and classic. The thing I like about them is that they actually look like watches, and because as opposed to iPhone that because someone
Oh,
was
the
saying
Apple Watch.
yeah because someone was saying if you wear Apple Watch with a suit you look like a spy kid. So so I like that Samsung is going with this route where it looks more like an actual watch,
Mm.
and you're not just like a hey gadgets, gadgets, look here, gadgets. So I'm a fan of this look.
No, I think it's cool, and I think again, there's a reason for this. Samsung knows the audience, and they know that technology should blend in and not stand out. And I think that that's what they're doing with this. Also, I mean, it's just a great design, like really. So the Watch 4 comes in two different sizes. It's a 40 mil, which I probably need because a friend of mine likes to say I'm kidnap size, and I'm like, that's awkward. So there's a 40 mil and a 40 mil and a 44 mil, and then the classic comes in a 42 mil and a 46 mil. So I was like, okay, that's interesting.
46 is big. I like it
46 is
though.
big. Yeah, it's like I'll be walking, you'll just see watch over there, and you wouldn't even see my arm. Like I could do this, and you
then
wouldn't even see my face.
then we must call you Brendan Tin. You're gonna look like
Wow.
every time you go out. Hey guys.
Please, I mean, you're not wrong, but that's just awkward. Brain because
Brentin.
yeah.
Oh yeah, let's go with Brentin.
Okay, another interesting thing about them is you have the LTE versions and non-LTE versions. So you could have the ones, with the eSIM in, because I know Vodacom does eSIM. So you get eSIM options where you can have calls coming straight to your watch. And I was like, no.
I
Like, it's
don't
nice. Don't phone me on my watch.
I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like again, maybe that's also too James Bondy because I don't want to.
No, but you see, you wouldn't be able to do because we just spoke about the buds. You could have the buds, remember? The buds will pick
Yes,
up your
yes, yes.
watch and then I'm like,
But
that's cool, but it's still weird to me.
okay, so then look on the bonus side of that. It means you could go for runs and or exercise and leave your phone in the car or wherever you are, and then basically still be have access, which is it has a bonus, but at the same time, sometimes you don't want to be called.
Exactly. Sometimes you just want people to leave you alone.
And it's a thing of you can't just turn it off and on when you want. If people know you have it, There you go. He's the person who can always be accessible. He's always accessible because of the watch. So
But also imagine I must come to you and be like, here's my number. Like you've got my number. And then it's like, I've got another number. It's my watch number. You're gonna be like, so I don't know. I know a lot of people love it. I'm just not one of those people who loves it. I mean, that's just me. Like, leave me alone. But okay, interesting. So there is that option. The watch battery is gonna last up to 40 hours. 40 hours. That's a lot.
that's a lot.
And according to Samsung, you can get 10 hours of battery life in 30 minutes of charge, which is, and it takes just under 2 hours to fully charge the watch. I'm assuming these times are referencing the larger of the watches, but still, either way, it's impressive.
40 hours is a lot coming from such a small and powerful device at the same time. So, yeah.
That's like 2 days, basically, almost 8 hours short of 2 days. I mean, yes, it is another device you're gonna have to charge, but I mean, it's not gonna be that difficult, and it's not gonna take that much time. So,
And they have those stands where you can, it's basically wireless charging for your watch and your phone. The new things you must get.
and I mean, the remember that, what do they call it? Auto switch, automatic switch. With the buds,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it works on the watch as well. It works on the Galaxy Watch 4 series, which is just, so now if you get, you get a phone call coming on your watch, but you've got your phone in your hand or you've got your tablet with you, whatever, it'll be like, oh hey, these are all on the same Samsung ID. This is all on the same sort of network. Boom, let's just swap over quickly, and bah, you get your call. And it's like, cool, but again, I'm not James Bond. I'm sorry.
It's great though. Like I like it, but I also go, it might be a little too tech for me. Like I'm very basic when it comes to tech, but I feel like that's also just like
No, but what's interesting, because I was watching this and I was like, then I have new gesture controls, and I was like, this could look very weird depending on how sensitive the watch is. Because I was like, so the way the gesture controls is, you've got your watch on your arm, right? And then you can do different things. So you can move your arm like up and down twice to receive calls. I'm like, that could look dodgy if you don't do it properly. This
this
is why
call
I
is
said,
done.
you can rotate your wrist twice to reject calls, or to dismiss notifications and stuff. And it's like, yeah. Um, and then there's a knock knock motion, and I'm like, how? You know, you can set a specific function to activate when you do a knock knock. Now imagine you walking through
No
the
man,
waterfront.
you can look
No,
like a cricket umpire every time you didn't take a call. Yes, out. No,
no, but
now
you're
you're
gonna be
just
walking.
here. No, we don't want the call, please.
No, yeah, I am with my Watch 4 Classic, walking through the waterfront, and I've got a special sort of functionality, that's set to do the knock knock. And I'm just walking through there, and I'm walking like this, and people are like, I think it's cool tech, but I think sometimes all these tech companies, not just Samsung, but all of them, I think they forget that you look like an idiot when you're
Do
doing it. Like when
you?
when VR first came out.
It's gonna be funny because you can actually order Uber. You just make like this, and then the Uber is gonna come. Which is, yeah, it
Okay, you can't actually do that, but imagine you could.
would be quite because also you can just call the police. Wee 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 wee. Then the police come also.
Wow. Okay.
I'm excited for Samsung's future.
Listen, yeah.
Traffic controller. That's how you're gonna look. Also, now you just
Oh my. It's just gonna be weird if you see people walking, like in an airport or something, just like, and doing like,
you know what the thing is. It's art imitates life because now everybody's gonna look like they're doing TikTok videos just to answer the phone calls.
oh my word, I didn't even think of that. I mean, it's interesting because they also give you another way to engage with your watch, which is Bixby. I'm not a fan of Bixby, but it is another way you could engage with it if you wanted to. Okay. It's not for me, but sure.
Yeah, I'd rather just Google it. It's fine. So, I know everybody does it, but even like the CD and the Bixby and even the assistant, I don't do the thing of find this thing for me. I'd rather just type. I know I should get into it because it makes life easier, but
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. I
just not
waffle
there.
between things. But yeah, these watches are interesting because another thing that Samsung's been very big on is healthcare. And with these two lines, because they have referred to these as lines, so Galaxy Watch and Galaxy Watch Classic, they call them lines. So to me, that makes it seem like going forward, this is what they're going to be doing now. So I don't know what this means for the Watch Active. I'm assuming the Watch Active will still be there. I don't know. But next time, when there's the Watch 5, we'll probably have a Watch 5 and a Watch 5 Classic. So anyway, um, but they've got a new bioactive sensor. They call it the Samsung Bioactive sensor. So what it does is it runs on one chipset and it can measure your optical heart rate. So there's an optical heart rate sensor, there's an electrical heart rate sensor. So PPG is the optical heart rate sensor. ECG is the electrical heart rate sensor. We've had that before. There's now also a this is a big one. Bioelectrical impedance analysis sensor, or BIA, and I'm like, you couldn't just do that. You
I'm
couldn't just
sure
call it that.
there's a other word. Okay, well, what does that sensor pick up?
So all of these together actually are now they're sort of putting it under the brand of new body composition analysis. So it can do things like give you insights like your skeletal muscle, your basal metabolic rate, your body weight and body fat percentage. And I'm like, okay, I don't need my watch to tell me that. I already know I've eaten too much and I
Yeah,
do need to work out more.
everybody has an auntie that will tell you when you're fat. It's fine. Why do I need my watch to also do it?
Listen here, the watch is already being like, listen here, it's been an hour. You need to get up and you need to walk. Like, don't
Yeah,
need to
no.
tell me this now, please.
Watches, aunties are the new watches.
I mean, usually you need to buy, one of those digital scales, those fitness scales, right? To tell you all of these things, and those things cost a fortune. The fact that it's built into your watch, I think, is really cool. But at the same time, I'm like, if I had a personal trainer right now, my personal trainer would love this because they'll be like, "See, it's not just me. Look at what the watch is telling you." But yeah, it's doing all of that, which see how I feel. Oh, sorry, I mustn't do this because if I was wearing a watch, it would like dismiss a call or notification. Um, do you see? Do you see? This is going to be a problem. I want to see how sensitive that is going to be when it picks up things. But anyway, so yeah, it does that. It's also got another. I don't want to call it a feature, but if you have a Samsung TV, a compatible Samsung TV, and you've got the Watch 4, one of the Watch 4 devices, you can kind of also do home training because obviously you
Oh,
can do like training on the
yes.
watch, but you can have it show up on the TV. So your Samsung TV, your watch. So your watch will still show you, how many minutes and blah blah blah, but you can see all the other important things on the TV on a larger display, which is cool. And I was like, for home workouts, this is next level. Like Samsung is like, here's the bar. Let's just go here.
It's especially in today's time where a lot of people have resorted to home workout. So I think it's also, I don't know about you, but I like seeing the stats of the workout because I don't know, it almost like gamifies the thing where it makes me feel like, oh shit,
Mm-mm.
I'm racking up points. You can't, yeah, I don't know what any of the stuff mean. But also, so this phone is also the first in
Watch.
the
Just watch.
this watch. Sorry, this watch is the first of the union for Google and Samsung as well.
Yes. So actually, Google I/O. Thank you for pointing that out because I was excited when they first made the announcement ages ago, and I got so caught up in excitement of all of this stuff that it pushed out that excitement. Um, but so Samsung's always been using Tizen as the sort of recently they've been using Tizen as the operating system for the watches. I think it's also what they use for the TVs. I speak under correction here. Um, and people were like, "Oh, Tizen's great, blah blah blah," but it's not. What do they call it? Google, I can't remember what Google called their Watch OS. Probably just Watch OS. Um, Whatever. But now what's happened is Google and Samsung were like, hey, you are the biggest Android manufacturer in the world. You're doing some great. Like Samsung is doing the best Android smartwatches, hands down. Like that, you can't even argue that point. So they were like, "Hey, let's work together." So this is the first union where, as Google likes to put it, they've taken the best of Watch OS and the best of Samsung's Tizen OS for watches and fuse it together. And this is actually the first device. So what you're going to get from that is, yeah, we're not doing cricket. Um, but remember when we spoke about like with the buds and stuff, the ecosystem, and again, it's something we've spoken about a lot on the podcast. The ecosystem, this is now next level because you're going to be able to get a whole bunch of new I want to say features, but they're doing a lot of partnerships. So they're making sure that, all the Google stuff obviously works and that you can get Spotify on your watch. So all of those partnerships are now going to be strengthened and going to benefit from this. And I think going forward, obviously, this is not just the standard now for the new watches from Samsung. all the Android watches are going to be using this platform, which is a very powerful position for Samsung to be in, because now it's not just we're making the product, we're making a great product, we're helping influence the entire ecosystem. This is taking them from number one to, like, they're now in their own stratosphere.
It's
You're
also
just
that
nodding
they
your head
lead
like,
the way for everybody else that's gonna use Google.
yeah, no, but
No,
this is,
because like yeah, everyone that must still that usable Google will have to go through Samsung in some way, and some Samsung's influence as well. But I do think it makes it great because things like the yeah, it's gonna tailor apps. That's the other thing. It's because normally with Android the problem comes in where Instagram must be able to fit on every screen. Where on iOS it fits that specific size, so they get like this
mm,
amplified version of the app. Whereas now, so I think with Samsung, their phone, their watch apps is gonna be like made perfect.
well, it's interesting you mention that, because what they say is when you install a watch compatible app on your phone, then it's automatically going to be downloaded to your watch as well. So I think some people are gonna love it, some people are gonna hate it, but I'm assuming you're gonna have a way to toggle it on or off if you wanted to. But I mean, what you're gonna see from this partnership are things like, obviously optimization for Google services and their third-party apps, but something like there's a built-in compass on the watch. That compass is now going to be able to work with Google Maps. That's cool. And something like Spotify, you're now going to be able to get Spotify offline on your watch, which, yes, please. Like,
Yeah,
then you can really leave your phone at home, take your buds, take your watch, go running. Like, I think things like that. And then also, your important settings for your phone. So, things like do not disturb, block callers, different time zones and clocks and stuff. Those are going to sync automatically between your watch and your phone now. So I think you're going to see, again, it's a small sort of behind the scenes thing, but it's also not a small thing. And again, it's just more cohesion that Samsung's bringing together. They're like, we've done these things well. Let's just refine and tweak. And I think this is going to be all we need now is Samsung laptops in the country. Then you can really get that full on ecosystem.
I think the next way for the watches is I want the camera on it.
No, man.
Because
Mm-mm.
if I get the camera, it means I can
No.
leave my phone. I can leave my phone at home. That's what
So,
I'm excited for.
no. I remember the I remember the first Samsung watches, the square ones.
Yeah, that had the camera on.
And it had the fake screw design. I remember being at one of those launches, and I took a picture of Danny Kaye wearing Samsung Gear VR with one of those. Couldn't see what it was. It was just a blurry mess, and not an artistic one. It was just no.
I'm,
Like, I don't see the need for it.
I just think what actually it just opens a window of creep. That's you're right now. You must just have your phone that must have a camera because a watch with a camera is a creep mode.
No, you don't. You don't need it. And I mean, most of these watches have the functionality where if you're using a phone from the same manufacturer, you can remote control the shutter. Like, why do you need anything more? So if we were filming a TikTok video and it was just us, I could prop the phone up somewhere and then watch and then do the thing. And if it's the Z Flip 3, it's the perfect device because it can do like that. And then no, I don't want to do that. It looks like an L. But yeah, okay, we're gonna touch on that quickly before we get there. Just a few sort of tech specs quickly. So, the Watch 4, normal one, regular one, is gonna be available in black, silver. There's a green color, that sort of olivey green that they're going for that I love right now. But that green color is only going to be available in the larger one, the 44 mil, and I'm like, really? There's also a pink gold one, which is only going to be available in the 40 mil, and I was like, really? And then,
Yeah, I feel like they could have. Oh, I would have liked that one, eh? But anyway, carry
like,
on.
because I want the olive green one, but I can't buy a 44 mil watch. Look at the size of my wrist.
I would wear the 44 again as the rose gold
No,
or
you
the
see, but
pink
you see,
gold.
I want the green one in a 40 mil, and that's not a thing, so that's a little bit sad. The Watch 4 Classic is going to be available in only two colors, black or silver. So, very classy, very boardroom kind of things. Also, interestingly enough, this is the first Galaxy Watch. It's got a 5 nanometer processor in, which is hella small. And I think phones, and I think the S21 series is running on a 5 nanometer SoC chipset. So that's pretty cool. Samsung also says that the CPU is 20% faster. They've increased the RAM by 50%. The resolution has been increased. And I was like, all of these things are supposed to give you a better overall experience. And I was like, you just were like, what else can we put in here? Kitchen sink? Nah. And it's like, if they could have, I bet you they would have done it though.
I think for the next one they're gonna put in a coffee filter.
Listen here. If I can get coffee on the go, Samsung, you have won my entire life over. Okay, like I'm done. Um, they've also done advanced sleep management, and I was like, listen here, I already feel weird about sleeping with watches and bands on, but I've done it lately. And then these things tell me you slept as well. I was like, okay, cool. But you know the thing that I find interesting is they they've improved the sleep score, which is great. They've got continuous blood oxygen tracking, fantastic. But they've also got snoring detection now. Yeah,
Again, I didn't need another thing to tell me that I'm horrible at this thing.
no, but you see now, when your wife is like, Yasin, you see, when you don't believe her, you'll be like, I would never. Then she's like, look at your watch. Your watch
No,
will be
but you
like,
see, I don't need that because I wake up from my own snoring. So it's not. Also, snoring is not my problem. Snoring is the problem of the person that hears me snore. I am very comfortable with my problems.
but you know what I'm thinking about this watch? This watch is now just a snitch. Because first it's telling me what my body fat is. Now it's telling me, I'm snoring. And I'm like, I do not need you to come for me, Samsung. Okay. Thank you very much.
Snitches get.
Stitches. That'll be me when I'm running there with the watch on and the button stitching. Take like 3 steps and I'll be like, I can't do this anymore. And then I'll sit down and pull out my phone, which I brought with me anyway, and just, play on the phone. But okay, so that's the Watch 4 and the Watch 4 Classic. Now we get to talk about the stuff that I really want to talk about. And I'm excited for this.